Hey, good morning, guys. So it is Tuesday. Sorry, don't even know what day it is. Unbelievable. Anyway, it's Tuesday morning, and we're starting off the day with a storm starting, and it's supposed to storm right through till Thursday morning. That's snow, rain, freezing rain. It's going to be an absolute shit show out there by Thursday. But it is what it is. Um, you may have noticed I've been putting out quite a bit of content lately. That's because I'm getting lots done. Um, I'm trying to wind this thing up this week, get her done. So there's only a few things left on the list, nothing major. We've got one, let's call it a big job, left. That's the headliner, and it's only because I've never put a headliner in before. That won't be in this video. I've got other stuff to do today. I've got to muck this place out and get it organized because I want to, as soon as this thing is done, I want to cover it up, scooch it over, so I can bring something else in the next project. Hopefully that's coming in next week. So yeah, we'll go over a few things and get to work. So there you go. All right, so my first order of business is to clear all this shit out of the way, clear path to the overhead door, and I can scooch the truck all the way to the front of the garage. All this other stuff here, all this has to go to the back of the garage, over in that area there by where the rims and stuff are. That's this table, all the shit that's underneath, everything else. I've got to paint that thing too, saddlebag. Anyway, gonna move a whole bunch of shit around, make some room so I can scooch the truck in this opening here once I get it covered up. So yeah, it's basically just a big cleanup. I'm not going to show all that because it's just boring. Who likes to watch people clean? I don't. And I don't like cleaning either, but I got to do it. So anyway, I'm going to get after this and move shit around, and then we'll see what we got. We'll get after the the list on the hoist post and finish this sucker up. All right, so there's 2 hours I'll never get back, but that's okay. I think it's worth it. So just to have all this room here. So there you go. So this can go, you know, all the way over right up to that ramp there. But yeah, well worth it. And, you know, to get their last of the parts onto the truck, I can clear everything off this table, and that'll be my workstation. And good to go. Just got to replace a couple light bulbs there, brighten it up a bit in here. But other than that, I got my my rack there to hang all my stuff. So paint station and a little workstation. So we're good to go. So yeah, I've got lots of room. Right. So there you go. Now I can get some work done. All right, so let's head over to the list here. Okay, like I said, there's just a couple things here: wipers, mirrors, windshield center trim, final polish. That's it there. Here, the fuel gauge. Yeah, I got to pull the gauge out of the dash. No biggie. What else? Flush coolant. Well, yeah, I've got to put in antifreeze for that anyway. And that is just a hose to clamp on for venting. Most of the rest of the stuff is on the interior. Which I said, the headliner is a big one. Okay, so the heater core. I was looking at this thing, and you know, I was going to bring it into a rad shop, but after we were looking at it, my buddy and I think I showed in a previous video that one of the copper pipes that came out of here was crushed and kinked, so it was out of round. So we're thinking that probably just couldn't get a good seal with a hose clamp, because, you know, it's like putting a square peg in a round hole. It just won't seal up no matter how much you tighten that clamp. So what I did was I wanted to get it back into shape. I took my ratchet handle, you can see how it's kind of tapered, and put it in the hole, and I kind of tapped it in with a hammer, and you could see the pipe starting to take shape and turning around again. Then I used a couple of bigger drill bits until I worked up to this 1/2 inch bolt here and tapped that in there. And, you know, any little pointy sections on the pipe, I tapped in from the outside, and I got it almost perfectly round. So, okay, so my buddy comes by with his tester set. He can test just about any cooling system. It's got all different rad caps and all kinds of stuff, attachments or whatever. We hooked up the heater core here and pumped up the whole system. He pumped it right up to 10 psi, and it held. Didn't lose any pressure whatsoever. So the way the water was coming out of this thing, inside the box, that is, it was like running out. It wasn't even the drip, it was running out. So if it was under 10 psi, you'd know it. You'd see some sort of a leak or hear air or something, and it would lose pressure quick. So we're calling this good. I could put this back into the heater box and get that back into the truck. Hook up the hoses. What else? Then I could put my kick panel back in. And as far as the fuel gauge goes, so I got to pull the gauge right out. It's not a horrific deal because I also forgot to put the bolt on my brace for my electric wiper motor, and that's got to be braced to the column mount. So it's almost impossible to get from underneath, but it's not too bad to get through this hole. So I'm going to pull this gauge out and figure around with the fuel gauge, get that wired up, get that bolt in my column, get all this done, and then then it's on to my headliner. So yeah, we'll just keep at her. It's getting near the end of the day today, so I'll probably see you guys in the morning. It is actually pouring rain out there right now, so it's already turning into a horrible mess. It's going to be terrible. Anyway, so we'll see you guys in the morning. All right, so next day, still pouring rain out. Lovely. This is my first order of business, is get this heater core back together. I'm going to dump the water out first, so I don't make a mess all over the inside of the truck. Yeah, okay, that should be the worst of it. Yeah, this could be fun. Oh, come on. Exceptionally difficult. Why? Huh. Oh, there we go. Oh, this goes too big. Damn it. God, kidding me. Okay, that's one. And I dropped the screw, never to be found again. Oh man, I'm telling you. Okay, I gotta find a small screw. You know, you drop something and it's always gotta bounce 100 miles away from where you were working. I must have other screws here somewhere. Okay, there's one. Why can't I see that? Oh. There it is. Get in there, sucker. Okay. 2 out of 4. What a pain in the ass. Okay, that was the hard part. Okay, I gotta dig up some screws, finish putting that together. The main battle is done. All right, so she's all together. Look, guys, when you're putting something like this together, and you start off with a Phillips screw, carry on with Phillips screws all the way through. There's nothing worse than trying to take something apart down the road. You know, think of the next guy, and you need 47 screwdrivers to take apart one little piece. So, yeah, stick with all one screw. If you're gonna go Robertson, go all Robertson. Just pick one and stick with it. Don't mix them up. It'll drive a man crazy. Okay, so before I throw this thing back in, I'm going to put my line together. It's pretty snug, so I'm just going to use my heat gun, warm up the rubber hose underneath. There we go. Okay, tighten up the hose clamp. Feed it through the hole. There. Okay, should be able to put my heater box back in place now. It's hard to show what I'm doing in there because it's so tight, so I'm just going to go ahead and get her in. Okay, so that's all in, bolted up, hose clamps are on, everything's done, so I can move on to something else now. I'm not sure how much time I have left in this video, not a whole lot I don't think, but I guess I'm going to get after pulling that gauge out. Get that out of the dash and do my thing with the fuel gauge, support bracket for the wiper motor, column bolted in. So yeah, I'll get after that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get that gauge dialed in tonight. All I'm going to do there is I've got keyed power to, on here what's called the amp gauge, but it's not an amp gauge, it's actually a voltmeter. But keyed power to that positive terminal to that gauge. So I'm just going to take a short piece of wire, jump it from there to the positive terminal on the fuel gauge, and it should be good to go back in. So I'm just going to need a little wire with two connectors, about 2 inches, 2.5 inches long. That's it. So that should be dialed in. And the other stuff you can't see up there anyway, so there's no point in showing any of it. So I'll get that in and out, or out and in tonight. And that puts me in place for the next video. That's going to be the headliner. So yeah, that should be fun. No. But anyway, yeah, headliner next, and then wrap up a couple little things, and this thing's done. So there you go. If you like the content, please subscribe, you know, tell your buddies and all that stuff, help spread the word. Like the video, and leave comments. You know, you get I get rewarded for comments. What else? Oh, and if you so choose to support the channel, just to the right of the share button below your screen, there's a little menu, circle with 3 dots in it. Click on that, where it says thanks. You go up there and you say, gee, thanks Dan for showing me now how not to do something, and appreciate it. So buy you a coffee or a beer or whatever, and any support is truly appreciated, and you know, helps keep the lights on and the cameras rolling. So yeah, if you're not doing anything else, get in the garage and build something, man. Later, guys.